Hey guys, so today is Monday and I am back Monday, August 17th to do a Target haul. You guys watched the video from yesterday. We went out yesterday and yeah, Target was the stop, and I have not been to Target in, oh my gosh, I want to say since April. Yeah, I haven't been anywhere since April. That's another story. But yeah, so we've basically been in the house. Yeah. So we picked up socks. The kids love the Dollar Spot socks, and we find that even though I think the size says smaller, they fit. They fit their feet. Anywho, so for the baby, she loves Olaf, so I picked her up those. Layla is into Frozen. Aaliyah, she got Doc McStuffins, and I think we already have a couple pair. And the Tariq picked up Dragons. There we go. Let's see, where else do I want to go with this? So much stuff on this table. They picked up, it was funny, before we left, I was getting my, what do you call that stuff? Not flavored, colored lip balm on. And the girl said, well, Layla said, I need some makeup. So, yeah, 4-year-old, 5-year-old with makeup really picked these up and showed it to him. And so she was like, yeah. And I mean, because they always have them, but it was just appropriate. So somebody got Fruit Loops, somebody got, this one was Twizzlers, and I think the other one was Blow Pop. Yeah, so we got that. And then they had these snack containers, which we use all the time. And I just keep their snacks in them so that they can get them. I fill them up each day, and they can get their snacks. And I like it because, I mean, they're small little cups. It helps kids with portion control, because if you give them a big bag of whatever, they're going to eat it all, or they're going to spill it, or whatever. But these cups just make things fun. You know, little containers. They're good for the car. So they had Doc McStuffins, and I think a couple of other ones, maybe Sophia the First. But I picked those up, and then they had the Avengers. They had the, like, the one that can hold a sandwich, and it had two smaller little portions on the side, but they only had one, and I think it was Sophia the First. So I did not get any more of those. And they were $1. And then we picked up more water bottles. Let's see. Goodness gracious. Okay, so the boy gets Avengers. The 3-year-old got My Little Pony. The 4-year-old got, she picked out Frozen, and then the baby got Home. So, DreamWorks Home, as they called it. They always have to put the DreamWorks in there. And then I picked up these little puzzles, and they are, I don't know, they are small pieces, which normally I don't get, but since they're in the bag, they're 24-piece puzzles. I mean, not small, but not that small. Right about that big. They're going to be their workbox activities. So I picked up Noah's Ark, and these are all the ones that they had. And then this Safari Friends, and then it tells you all of the animals in the jungle. And then this dinosaur extreme color. This one glows in the dark. sure they'll have lots of fun with that one. And then this one, Glitter and Glitz, with the fairy castle and the unicorn. And this one is actually smaller. This one's 100 piece. That one's 100 piece. This one's 48 piece. So 24 piece. Cool deal. And then in the party section, where they have all the birthday party stuff, the kids picked up, this is part of one, that slime. And oh my gosh, I mean, yeah. So they picked up slime. And something else they got from over there. I don't know. Let me get down. Back is killing me. Okay. And then I picked up Telling Time flashcards. We have tons of things, but I saw these for workbox activities. I thought that would be a good deal. And then the flags of the world. I should have gotten a couple more of these. I don't know why I didn't, but I try not to get too many of one thing, because we have other references that have that. But I picked those up. And then I picked up these, some more Pip scents. The Tropical Vacation. We didn't have this particular set. And these were $1.99. So, cool deal for that. And then Dollar Spot stickers, Minnie, and Mickey, because we always need stickers. And then I found this little book, Famous Folks of America, and it's a level 3 reader. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Paul Revere. There's Abraham Lincoln in here. There's Betsy Ross. And there's Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman. There's Abraham. Which the 21-month-old can now identify Abraham Lincoln. So there's that. I thought that would be a good little reference. And then they each got one of these light bands. And that one, this one is Layla's. It has a diamond. It's upside down. There's a diamond in there. Over 16 hours of light. This one is the babies. Yeah. It's a monkey. It's green. They had green, pink, and blue. So, that's their little trinket, fun little things. And then we picked up, of course it's not going to do it, there it is, these little squishy balls. Everybody got one. So we got purple, green, there's orange and pink somewhere. And then I picked up these little building blocks from the Dollar Spot. And then here's what they are. You build that kind of stuff. I had been looking at these for a little bit, and I just went ahead and got them. So I picked up one of those. That's the quote-unquote boy set. And then here's a girl set. Well, I am not going to give it to them like that, because then, yeah. And then they had these, the stackable kind. And this is stuff that the baby can use too. So that's the reason why I picked these up. And that was, let's see, the other ones are 20 count, 28. These are 32. So for $1. And again, we don't need a whole bunch of this stuff. So I try not to get too many, because for $1 you can get a million things like this. And I think about storage. I don't need it all. Oops. Okay, I have been looking for Sesame Street because the baby loves Sesame Street. And so when I found the sketch pads, I thought, let me get sketch pads. And they didn't have very many. I think they had 3. And I picked up 2. So we got a sketch pad. This is for her and the 3-year-old. She likes Sesame Street as well. And then they had this learning activity placemats. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe take a page and split it in half, at least like that one, and laminate it, or like split one in half and leave one whole and laminate it. That way they can have laminated placemat to write on, and that'll be like a workbox activity. Next up, they had these diaries with the pen. These were $3. So for the 3-year-old, we picked up Doc. For myself, I picked up Doc. For the 4, almost 5-year-old, we picked up Frozen. For the baby, we picked up Doc. I think they had Sophia the first. And they had a bunch of them that were a little bit thinner without the pen for $1. But I liked these, so I went ahead and got these. And then for the other twin, he has, who is this? Inside Out. Okay. And then, something I forgot to get at the grocery store, borax for science projects. So, yay for that. And then, the only thing we went into Target to get, guys, the only thing, I'm going to show you right now. Okay, maybe not this many Band-Aids, but we went to get a box of Band-Aids. Okay, because every time I buy Band-Aids, they disappear. Okay? But anywho, everybody got their box of Band-Aids. Why we have 2 frozen ones, I don't know. Somebody snuck that in there. But you can see they're open, so I'm going to have to put them away because they've already had imaginary owies. Bumps and bruises. Okay? Anywho, hopefully I can get this to work. This is so cute. You open it and Elmo talks. It's light activated, but it doesn't do it all the time. I guess because it's so dull in here. Let me see if I can get it to work. He laughs.
Hi, it's your friend Elmo.
There we go. So that is so stinking cute. And I think there were only like $2.50 or something. So we've got our stock of Band-Aids, and I picked out the Doc McStuffins one. But yeah, that was all we actually went in there to get. Of course, I knew I was going to hit up the dollar spot because I was looking for a couple things like the Sesame Street stuff. You know, and I just let them pick out whatever little stuff they wanted so that they can feel accomplished. And going to Target. And then on top of that, they the kids that are always wanted to ride the city bus. So that is what we did. So that was a treat. And on them there is the front seat is the Rosa Parks seat, which Layla got to sit in because she's all about Rosa Parks. And so I took some pictures of her and stuff like that in that seat. But they had a ball just, you know, being able to ride the bus and know what it's about. So we don't have a subway, but I would love to put them on the subway, ride the subway, maybe the Greyhound somewhere one day, the train one day, and of course on the plane. We've all been on the plane except for the little kids. So that was quite an adventure, just to be able to get out and take them and show them what actually happened, and things like that. Very educational, and being able to point out things more so just sitting there versus when I have to drive. It's kind of hard to, really focus on that. So, big trip. And then, of course, eating was fun. And the free shake that they got was, yeah. So, anywho, that is my Target haul. And, yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. And I will be back. I do have a couple more hauls. Like I said, I've just been sitting on them. So, bye.